All right. Well, thank you so much. And we are here. We are here. I really want to appreciate every single person here. I wish you were up here to see what a beautiful picture it is to see each and every one of you here. All that each and every one of us is going through amidst all that's going on in these astonishingly hard times on many levels. All of us have traveled both in space and time, literally and metaphorically, and now, yes, we are here. Yes. Thank you, Sandra, David, and all at Calcasa, and to each and every one of you here for such a warm welcome and being here in your full presence. And in turn, I have the honor of opening our 2 days of our collective presence here in transformative conversations, thinking differently to end sexual assault. Let's see, how do my slides. Okay, here. We delight in the beauty of the butterfly, but we rarely admit the changes it's gone through, right? And I notice on each of your tables you have that reminder of caterpillar to cocoon to butterfly. And this is an especially meaningful quote because it comes from Maya Angelou, and our luminary and deeply remembered poet, author, and civil rights activist. When Maya Angelou wrote and shared her story in I Know Why a Caged Bird Sings, she opened her personal experience of rape, identity, race, and gender oppression, and her lifelong journey for creativity, freedom, and liberation. Really, she even lived around here at some points, of course, throughout the nation, but in San Francisco, she was the first woman cable car driver, and then she went on to, many of you might remember, she was in the inauguration of the president, and Obama gave her a lot of praise and saw her as a role model and a luminary. So that is we're invoking today and throughout. And following Maya Angelou and the butterflies, let's remember that we are caterpillars. Here's my tribute to Maya. And let's remember that we are like the caterpillars, cocoons, and butterflies. And so what I would want to do is just have a little bit of a table talk or with a pair. Think about, reflect on yourself about ending sexual assault and your place in that, because you all have a place in that and all have roles that are valued, appreciated, and loved. And what do you think right now in these transformative times, or you could pick anything, a small moment like today, or just in the big picture of your workplace, where do you think you are? Do you feel like a caterpillar? Do you feel like you're in a cocoon? Or you feel like a butterfly? And just chat about that a little bit. I'll give you a couple minutes. Thank you for talking about that. Let's see. Okay. I actually drew this myself. And basically it is what I was thinking is combining the caterpillars, cocoon, and butterflies to our transition curve. And right now we are in transformation, we are in transition, and all the time we are in different kinds of transition and movement. And in the in the caterpillar stage, that's often the beginning, right? And when you think about it's at the beginning. Well, first of all, let me say that change is not just from A to B. It's never just a straight line, even though we often have that on our timetables or our charts or timelines, A to B. It's not that. It's actually a curve. And in fact, I know for myself, I would draw the curve like this probably, you know. It's not always predictable. But at the beginnings is actually a time of endings. And so sometimes we're in the caterpillar phase because we think that it might be over. And we like just being a caterpillar, being there. And it's kind of astonishing to think about going into a cocoon or becoming a butterfly, right? And so a lot of times people might think caterpillars or people in this phase, oh, they're so stuck in their old ways, or, you know, why aren't they moving to change? But it's really that they are in this beginning, they're not afraid of change, they're afraid of loss. And a lot of times it's like loss, like I might lose my job, I might lose my place in life, I might, you know, be plunging into the unknown. We know that as advocates and as survivors of the way that we've done some brave breakthroughs and steps, right, to transform. And so now, as advocates and champions to end sexual assault, we also need that bravery if we're in the caterpillar stage to honor that, but know that we have, we're going through endings. And the neutral zone, now that I drew that cocoon there because the neutral zone is uncertain, it can be really gooey and messy, and if you were inside a cocoon, you wouldn't know what was going on, and it's just like not pretty. However, the essential elements are there, right? Nan Stoops is so into the science of this. She says it's what, imaginal discs, or those elements, yes, they are still there. So it's like, yeah, that, and then I really want to appreciate her because she's boldly said, yeah, let's be in a cocoon, let's liquefy, yes. And that is brave of many of us who have been in this movement for a long time, have built structures, have done things in a certain way, but it takes that bravery to liquefy. And also what is true about the neutral zone and about cocoons is that that's where the most creativity happens, right? There are the most creativity and steps. And then moving through the butterflies. They spread their wings, they can fly, and it's the end that is new beginnings, right? So really, this next iteration, a time to burst out and fly with new beginnings. We all experience these phases in our journeys through many transitions curve. Another thing that I wanted to share with you is, well, yes, just a reminder that just when the caterpillar thought that the world was over, poof, it became a butterfly. So I think that's something good for us to remember when we gather the courage to make some bold changes. In this, let's see, these are different. Okay, well, a little pictures of people. So you will see Sandra and me at Vice President and then Vice President Joe Biden's house. And also with Patty Totten-Sintle and Tonya Lovelace, the women of color. Can you imagine? First of all, I felt so proud, but also surprised. And then can you imagine to see our sister, especially women of color, those who have lived in the margins, to be recognized and to be able to have a seat? at the couch, no less, at Joe Biden's place. So thank you, yes. Okay, let's see. Oh, wait. Back. Oh, Bambi, who is also here, is on my picture and she is here. Thank you so much. So she actually is the one that introduced me to selfies. She's like, let's take a selfie. And Latinx and myself and Umi Hankins and many other were there at a culturally and specific services project, or a startup of that actually. It was before they were even in federal funding or recognized by the Office on Violence Against Women. It was pre that, and look at us in our journeys. So thank you, thank you. And then this is our sisters and programs in Minnesota. We were gathered, and we're continuing to gather to really think about building the power of the margins. So it is about, if we are really going to move the movement, it is intentionally about opening up the center, so state coalitions, others of us who have been seen as kind of the leadership or the structure of ending gender-based violence, and then those at the margins, like that are often not recognized but are doing important and great work, like Millie and Líderes Campesinas and Yiwu, who I see in the house, and yes, so many of you here. Also, we are here. Thank you. So now I want to go actually into today, which is, actually today is the International Day of Peace. And it's also the International Day of Indigenous Peoples. Oh, I have 1 minute. Okay, so quickly, I'm going to go through this quickly, is that, because it's the International Day of Peace, this is the day to remember the 70th anniversary of the atomic bombing of Hiroshima and Nagasaki. And much of my family in my homeland in Japan, we were from Hiroshima, died during this time. And some survived. I have an uncle still there that is hibakusha, atom bomb survivors. And when Sadako, at age 11, was dying from that radioactive poisoning, she was believing in the tradition of the 1,000 cranes to heal your sickness. And so she folded, this is Hiroshima, a tribute today. And I'll just move through this. I'll tell you about that story another time. But let's see, these are some more of the folks I wanted to celebrate. I wonder why that, okay. This is us now. But the 1,000 cranes is actually, the one in the middle is one that was made for me, and many of you actually folded and sent those thousands of cranes. And thank you, because that is something that healed me 3 years ago, and I'm survived. I'm here with you today. Thank you. So I am a firm believer in the 1,000 cranes, and I feel like they are a metaphor also for the 1,000 beloved communities. This one is the one that you helped fold for me and is in my house right now. So I just took a picture of it. And I feel like with that closing, I want to thank you all, have deep appreciation, and here we go. With invoking the 1,000 cranes, we are going into creating 1,000 beloved communities. Thank you.